Come with us where the corn is popped and the throwback Thursdays never stop. It's a magical land not far away. All you have to do is just press play.
So,
hop on the couch and close your eyes. Gonna party like it's 99. Join us, watch the movies of our lives with Blockbuster Wives.
welcome to Blockbuster Wives, where your two favorite 90s babies talk about movies from the era of a certain blue and yellow video rental store. I'm your host with the most late fees. Why am I tripping up on this whole month? Shea, baby.
And this is Stacy, not always kind, but always rewinds. And you're listening to Blockbuster Wives. We still on our football shit.
Yeah, we are. This is the last and final installment of football month.
You know, it's been fun.
It actually really has, even for someone like me who is not a football aficionado.
Yeah, right. We're stepping outside of our comfort zone with all the sports movies.
Yeah, emphasis on zone.
Not one of which has passed the Bechdel test until today.
Okay, yes.
Do you remember?
Now I get it.
I mean, this movie is hard to introduce. It's
Truly.
just incredible. It's a classic.
And I've never seen any of these movies, but this one I've heard about non-stop, basically my entire fucking life, and I totally get why. Like, after I watched it today, I was like, dude, I get it.
It's just good. And I forgot how many quotes are from it. Because I should say that I think I've only seen this movie once.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was a substitute teacher in high school who put it on. And it makes sense as a substitute teacher movie because you could be like, it's based on a real story and you're learning something about racism. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. And it's not only about, like, and it's set in a high school, you know, like, it's relevant to kids, I feel.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I understand that. But I'm surprised I never watched it. Again, I think I mentioned it last episode that, like, my substitute teacher / hungover teacher movie was always Finding Nemo and never anything like this. But I feel like every other kid watched it like a million times.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised I didn't see it more times. I do wonder if we maybe just missed the window, maybe. But probably. I don't know, actually, because it came out in 2001.
Well.
But in case you forgot what movie we're talking about, it's Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans. So fucking good. But we'll get all into that.
Yeah, we will get on that. This is going to be chock full. I mean, there's so much to talk about. So should I just get right into corporate bullshit?
Let's go into corporate bullshit, baby.
All right, cue that theme.
Corporate bullshit.
Some bullshit.
This week's corporate bullshit is brought to you by Skintegrity. Skintegrity is a love child of London the Esty, who got her start in the spa industry in 2010, starting as a concierge and eventually getting promoted to management. Since becoming licensed in 2015, she's worked at 5-star resorts on the Las Vegas Strip and now runs her very own studio, Skintegrity.
London is driven by results and 5-star customer experience. We both can personally attest to London's angel hands and true expertise in all things skincare.
When I was going to get married and wanted my skin looking right, London designed a treatment package that addressed all my concerns and made me a glowing bride.
She has also given me a few facials in my day, and not only is she so focused on your experience while you're with her, but she also asks intentional questions and genuinely wants to understand your overall health and wellness outside of her studio. You can find London on Insta at LondonTheSD or skintegritynow.com. Mention Blockbuster Wives and your first facial will be $105. That's over a 10% savings by mentioning the pod.
Plus, you can mention Blockbuster Wives to get a facial for only $50 on Mondays with London's Apprentice Diamond. I've also gotten a facial from Diamond, and it was dynamite.
Again, the name is Skintegrity, and be sure to mention the pod.
Bye!
Bye!
Okay. Remember the Titans came out September 29th, 2000.
Damn.
Can you believe this is only 1 month after The Replacements?
No. Wait, what year was it?
2000. Pre 9/11.
1 month after?
1 month after.
Holy smokes. And again, perfect fall movie. Like, it starts with different colored leaves on the ground that are crunchy. Like, it's
crunch.
perfect.
Yeah, it's like ASMR fall porn.
It really, quite literally. This and Rudy are both, like, very fall heavy.
We just heard a clatter. I don't know if it'll be picked up on the mic, but we both did a little jump scare.
It's about to be Christmas, so a rose such a clatter looking ass.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, that's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, wow, I think I remember from our corporate bullshit for the replacements that it didn't do, like, I think it made money, but it wasn't like a blockbuster. And it's probably because people were like, I'm sorry, I'm going to go see the Denzel Washington football movie.
Who, by the way, continues to be one of the hottest people I have ever seen in my entire life.
But Brent and I were talking about it, like, it's almost like since he's been such a face since I can remember. We call this the Hillary Clinton effect. Mm-hmm. It's like I almost can't tell if they're hot or not, just because they are like their own person.
We talked about this with another actor a couple months ago, and I don't remember who it is now.
Maybe Tim Allen or something.
I think it might have been Tim Allen, but I do find Denzel Washington so hot, like, to this day. He is so fine.
Yeah, he's definitely, like, conventionally handsome.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, I don't know that I'm, like, thirsty for him. And I think because, like, I saw him when I was a kid and he seems so authoritative. That's almost like he is daddy, but not sexual daddy.
Yeah, I get it.
And who's your daddy? I was like, is this it?
Bro.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Back to corporate bullshit. Okay. September 29th, 2000, 1 month after the replacements. It was directed by Boaz Yakin. I don't know if I'm saying that right. An Israeli-American filmmaker.
Ooh.
Really didn't do too much directing work besides this. Wrote a lot, but as far as directing, it was basically this and this movie called Safe that starred Jason Statham, which is like a high-powered action movie.
I'm so surprised because this movie is so good. You'd think that he'd be like, yo, I need to do more of this. But
you really would think. I do wonder if maybe it was one of those things where it's like he was scared to try again after making such a smash hit.
I can understand that. Or maybe this just wasn't even his, like,
cup of tea
thing. Like, maybe he was just like, look, I did great. Somehow it went really well, but, like, my thing is writing.
And my thing is Jason Statham in action movies.
Yeah. After the Jason Statham, I'm done.
We're Denzel.
Yeah.
It's starring, of course, Denzel Washington, Will Patton, who I think looks exactly like Jim Carrey. Do you agree?
I didn't even think about it. That's the other coach, right?
Yes.
No.
Especially when he's yelling at the ref, I was like, he looks exactly like Jim Carrey.
I'm going to need to pull
So I wasn't sure if I was just imagining it. So I Googled it, and a lot of people do think this.
Okay, got it.
But it was kind of funny. It did take me out a little bit, because I was like, he's doing, like, Grinch face right now. This is amazing.
That's crazy. It didn't even pop up in my mind, but now I need to look it up.
Hey, Wood Harris, who Tyler, the Creator, jokes is his father.
I was gonna say, this dude looks just like Tyler, the Creator, so that's funny. I've never seen him joke about that, but that's so funny. And he also, like, he knows his dad, but he's like, fuck my dad, so that would be really funny.
I think he jokes about it. Is it in Goblin? He has a song where he, like, makes a reference, like, he's my father. And then they met up on the streets of New York one day, and they took a picture together, and he's like, it's my dad.
Cute, because they really do, like, I was watching him the whole movie, and I was like, dude, they have so many similarities. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you got Ryan Hurst, who plays the tall defense guy. I always forget his name. It's like a French-ass name. Bartier or something.
Oh, his last name?
Yeah.
It's like Brier, like B-R-I-E-R or something like that. His first name is what, Gary?
Yes.
Gary, yeah.
Gary.
But it's spelled like G-E-R-R-Y.
Yes, I cannot get this guy's name right. But that is Ryan Hurst. Mm-hmm. Donald Faison, who plays, at first he's a defensive player. No, at first he's the running back, and then he plays the tight end. You know him from Scrubs, right?
Yes. Handsome guy.
That sounds like it's kind of funny that he's in this iconic movie, and then he's, like, also in Scrubs.
He's also in Clueless, right?
Is he? Oh, yeah. As one of the boyfriends, right?
Yeah, he's, what's her name's boyfriend? Dion?
Yes.
Dion.
Yes, Stacey Dash, who's kind of nuts. Mm-hmm. Okay. Nicole Ari Parker, that's the wife, baddie.
She is also in And Just Like That.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she plays, like, a really hot, like, bougie character in this Sex and the City series, so.
Yeah, they definitely, like, housewife her up in this movie. They don't let her bad bitch energy shine quite so bright, but she's in this.
She's just, like, a supportive wife, and that's it.
Oh, yeah. And then you have Hayden Panettiere, who, like, wow, her features are strong. Like, some kids look really different when they're a kid. Not her.
No, she looks exactly the same, yeah.
Because Brent goes, I think that's Hayden Panettiere, because we watched it together, and it's like, really? And then they zoomed in on her face, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
And her hair is so curly and so cute.
So cute.
She's adorable.
And then Ethan Suplee, I wanted to shout out,
Yo,
who you know is the
love
bully
this
from
guy.
Boy Meets World.
Frankie the Enforcer Stachino.
He's so good.
And I love his character in Boy Meets World, too, because he's constantly questioning, like, what masculinity means. And he's, like, a poet. Like, he looks like a super bulked up, like, fuck you guy. But he's really, like, so soft and so sweet. And there's so many references about him being gay. And he's basically just like, and it's sick, especially for that time.
Yeah, that was like a big deal.
Yep, it's dope. So shout out to Frankie Stachino.
That even happened in this movie. Like, there's a scene where he's like, I have to know if you're gay. Like, the
he's like, why?
character. And he's like, why?
Yep, so sick.
He's like, no, it's fine. I need to know.
He's like, if it's about the playing, then why do you need to know? And he's like, Arr!
Yeah, he's like going crazy.
Fucking incredible.
This movie's 113 minutes long, but
Okay.
doesn't feel that long.
No,
Doesn't feel overly long.
All.
Not like Little Giants.
No, I was fully engaged the whole time. In fact, I wanted it to be a longer movie.
Yeah,
I wanted to stay.
I wanted more.
Yeah, I wanted
that's
more.
Good.
I
Always
love
leave
that.
them wanting more.
So much.
The budget was $30 million,
Okay.
but it boxed $136 million.
God damn, that's crazy.
Smashed it.
Wow.
Rotten Tomatoes, critics score only 72,
What?
which kind of surprised me.
That's very surprising.
Audience score 93.
So
Again,
is that our highest?
universally liked. This might be the highest.
Yeah, I think that's the highest.
Rudy was 90, high.
Yeah,
This is
very
93.
high. Wow.
But you know what? Our boy Roger Ebert, he gave it 1/2 star less than Rudy. He gave it 3 stars. And this is what he said. He said, "Remember the Titans has the outer form of a brave statement about the races in America, but the soul of a sports movie in which everything is settled by the obligatory last play in the last seconds of the championship game. The movie is heartfelt, yes, and I was moved by it, but it plays safe."
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
None of it is safe.
I don't know why, like, what he was expecting.
And also, it's not like the whole movie was riding just upon the last, like, 2 seconds of it. Like, I don't think that's true at all.
Yeah, I don't think so at all either.
Again, I think this is another classic Ebert situation where he, like, watches the first part of the movie and then, like, basically, like, skims over it and then watches the end and he's like, everything is based on this last 5 minutes. It's like, no, there's a lot of conflict before this also.
You know, I'm trying to confirm, but I'm pretty sure that this movie got snubbed by the Academy Awards. Like, it wasn't even nominated for anything.
What?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah, it wasn't. So it won a bunch of other, like, smaller awards. Like, it got a BET award for Best Actor for Denzel.
Yeah.
It got a couple Blockbuster Entertainment awards
Hey.
for Favorite Actor, Favorite Supporting Actor, NAACP awards, a bunch of those. A Las Vegas Film Critics Society awards, which I didn't even know we had
Ooh,
that. But
me neither.
Vegas
We
gave
need to
some
go to the
awards.
Critics Society.
It did get a Teen Choice Award, a nominee for Best Film.
Okay.
But yeah, no Academy Award winners. And that actually
Very
makes me
weird.
want Academy Award winning movie
For that year.
2000. Yeah, I'm very curious. Oh, American Beauty one. That is a good one.
And that's like a classic in like the film, with like film bros.
It is a good one. Gladiator won 5 Oscars that
Dude,
year.
not
That's
gonna lie.
also a smash hit.
Fucking love Gladiator.
Okay, that's a
dude.
big year for movies.
Makes a little bit of sense. But they should have been like fucking nominated.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised no nominations.
Yeah, no, that's wild. That doesn't make sense.
Man.
No, but this is one of my favorite movies we've covered probably this year.
It is really good.
Yeah, like I truly, every moment I was engaged. I was super excited. I love all the characters. There's a lot of character development. Yeah, I just think it's like kind of a perfect movie in a lot of ways.
It's got a great setup. So the movie actually starts in the 80s at a funeral. And you don't know who the funeral is, but it's narrated by a young woman, and she's talking about how important football was in her community. And then you like flash back to the 60s?
Or the 71.
71, so very early 70s. And you see that this community in the South is being forcibly integrated by the courts, post-Brown v. Board education. And they are busing in black students to go to this high school, and they have to have an interracial football team. And everyone's freaking out.
Yeah.
And then the head coach of this particular high school is told that he has to make way for this black coach because, like, they got to pick one school in the district or the feds are going to come down on us or whatever. And so neither of them are happy about it. The white coach is like, "Excuse me," and Denzel Washington's like, "Fuck, I don't want to.
I don't want to be that guy.
Do this. Yeah, I don't want to be that
Which
guy."
makes it that's scary as fuck to be put in that position.
Oh yeah.
Because he knew he would be, like, public enemy number one.
Oh, yeah.
For many reasons, but, you know.
But they ultimately decided to team up with Denzel taking the offense, and Coach Yost is his name, is the white dude. He takes the defense.
Yeah.
It is based on a true story, but from everything I could tell, it's, like, very lightly. Like, very lightly. Like, it is true there was an interracial team, and they did win that year. And apparently, though, that's where, like, the similarities kind of end.
That's where they stopped.
Mm-hmm. Like, all the other characters are made up.
Damn, okay. Well, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Wait, all the other characters are made up?
I
But
think
what
most
about
of
at
the
the
characters
end
are
where they
made
were
up.
like, and this guy dies because of blah, 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 and he, like...
Yeah, so they're real, but I guess, like, their interactions and all that are,
okay. Yikes.
who knows?
Well, damn, okay.
Yeah, so based on a real story, those people did exist. They did win the championship, but a lot was dramatized.
Got it.
Unlike Rudy, which was, like, for the most part, true.
Yeah, like 90-something percent true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in my mind, I'm still going to pretend like these guys are real because I just love them so much, and I love their interaction so much, for the most part, obviously. But, so good.
Yeah, so the movie follows this team through camp, which is where they all bond, but then they come back to society and everyone hates them, so they start to drift apart, but then they come back together.
To win the big game.
It's set up that if Denzel loses one single game, he will be fired.
Yeah.
So he keeps winning, and they're undefeated.
He needs them to be perfect.
And he really does, because he's like, I don't want to move my family again. Like, geez.
Yeah, this is fucked. I don't want to do this. I will say, like, watching their camp it took me so far back to when I was in band, you guys, okay? I was in marching band, and we had band camp. We traveled 1 year, but most of the years they were just, like, at our high school before school started, so it'd be during the summer in the Vegas fucking heat, okay? And I had a band teacher who I think, watching this movie, I think she was truly inspired by Denzel's character, and I'm not fucking kidding.
I was going to say, this is such a good movie, but I think it has spawned a lot of toxic behaviors of people who think they are Denzel, and they're just not.
Yeah.
And it's also like, this is a movie at the end of the day.
And also, I'd say in that time period, for what they were dealing with, which was like integration, people being extremely fucking racist, and and by people, I mean white people, obviously, but like, I think he needed to be as tough. I can't even speak. I think he needed to be as tough on them at that time to be like, to kind of knock sense into them in some sort of fashion. I don't know. I usually don't believe that, but like when I was thinking about it today, I'm like, there kind of was no other way to get them to like understand that they were brothers and they were on a team and like to bond. Yeah,
I definitely think he had to assert a great deal of authority to be listened to, period.
Totally. But in 2007 through 9, when I was with this particular teacher, I don't think it was necessary for her to be as tough on us, because she also said the whole, like, we need to be perfect, you need to be perfect, we need to be, and so, like, I didn't understand any of these references because I never watched this movie. But, like, anytime we'd make a mistake, we'd have to run a mile. Anytime we
Oh, my God, which is straight out of this movie.
Yep. We'd have to run around the football field, like, a certain amount of times that equaled a mile. We would have to, every time we played a note wrong, we had to do push-ups. So she ran it like it was militant, similar to how Denzel did.
Well, even then, Denzel gets pushed back in the movies. Like, some of the characters are like, we're not perfect, so, like, I guess we'll just quit then. Or, like, well, you don't want to play then.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to fail.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't go totally, without challenge.
Right.
And the other coach is like, you need to calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
What do you say? There's a line between tough and crazy.
Yeah.
And this is after Denzel's like, water's for cowards.
Dude.
No water breaks. And the other coach is like, yo.
And she did the same thing.
She was playing the Denzel playbook.
She was. And what's so funny, I'm just like, I remember thinking, I was the one that I got in trouble a lot in high school, okay? But specifically in band, I got in trouble a lot because I was kind of like the voice of reason. Everyone else was scared of authoritative figures. Makes sense. I never was. And so she would say some shit and I'd be like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I would be the one arguing. And one time she did say, like, we were again, it's marching fucking band.
It's marching band, yeah.
Okay? Like, we did compete. It was a very competitive sport. Like, it really is considered a sport because people might not realize because of movies and shit, but it's very, very physical. It takes a lot of skill to do. like, again, I'm not, like, shitting on us or whatever, but...
Yeah, think of, like, doing a coordinated dance and then also playing an instrument at the same time.
Yeah, and, like, you have to be in perfect alignment or else, like, you will absolutely get nubbed in, like, competitions and stuff like that. They can, like, they really, like, watch and see if, like, the lines are perfectly aligned and things like, it's crazy. But anyways, she quite literally was like, if we don't get this right, you're not doing a water break until we get this perfectly right. And again, we were in the Vegas summer heat, which it goes up to like 118 degrees on top of a football field that was like higher up than ground level. And like, anyways, we were just like closer to the sun. We were hot as fuck. We were playing instruments, out of breath, like all this shit. So anyway, watching their camp, I was just like, yikes. Like, I fully realized that our band teacher was absolutely 1,000,000% inspired by this movie, and I'm like, bitch, you're not Denzel Washington, please stop.
And again, this is not a movie, and we're not in segregated South, okay?
Yeah, so you don't have to be that tough on us, you fucking
people will
freak.
listen to you without doing this.
Absolutely. So anyway,
and were you like number one in the state because of it?
We did win state the year before, but that was when we weren't with her.
Interesting. I'm just saying.
I know. And our last band director was not as tough on us, so it didn't work. I mean, we did great, but we didn't win.
Yeah, and even Denzel says, like, at one point in the movie, like, I'm being tough on them because they're young black kids, and the world is going to be tough on them. So, like, you can coddle them all you want, but, like, I'm going to give them that real.
Mm-hmm. So she did not need to do that with us.
No.
Who were mostly all, like, white privileged
Just
kids.
the irony of some white lady, like, watching Remember the Titans and being like, I will do that to my affluent high school population. Because we went to a fancy-ass high school.
We did.
We did.
And a lot of us didn't, like, fall into that category, but still, the majority of kids that went to that school and that were in that program, their families had money, and again, like, it, and maybe she was, like, maybe she knew that, and she was trying to knock some, like, responsibility into a lot of, like, kids that are, like, privileged and, like, bratty and shit, but I don't know, like, not letting us drink water for, like, the principle of it, like, fuck off.
I've never gone back to True Fusion Yoga, which is, like, a popular yoga studio here, because the instructor was like, no water breaks during my class. And I was like, you can go to hell.
During hot yoga, too, right?
Yeah. I was like, miss me with that shit.
That is so weird.
Goodbye.
Water's for the weak.
I haven't been back since.
Get the fuck out of here. So
yeah, Denzel says water is for cowards, which cracked me up. And then the other coach is like, you're crazy.
It's insane. One of my favorite lines from it, though, was the other coach, Yeats or whatever. Yost. He was like...
That's how you know it's a real name.
Insanity. So Yost was like, I'm worried about my boys. And Denzel's like, well, I'm not going to cook them and eat them. And I'm like, yes! Like, there's so many one-liners he says that I'm like, banger.
Uh-huh. And we get the barfing trope very early in this movie.
Yes.
It happens at the camp.
Which makes sense.
Throwing up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whenever I work out super hard, I throw up too.
Really?
Yeah. If I have a really, really hard workout, yeah.
It's never happened to me. Probably because I'm never really working out that hard.
Yeah, the last time...
If I get a touch dizzy, I'm like, I'm dizzy. I'm going to sit down for 20 minutes.
Good for you. That's how it should be. Instead of me, who's like, I have to work it. I have to go harder. And then I fucking throw up. You idiot. Yeah. Also, I love the line, you're overcooking my grits, coach. Fucking
Such
incredible.
a good line. Such a good line.
Amazing.
There's a lot of good lines. I also loved attitude reflects leadership.
As soon as he said that, I was like, oh! Because he said that to Superman, quote unquote, who was being a dick at that time.
Yes.
Donk. I also love that Denzel called Jerry. He's like, oh, Gary? No, that must be Jerry.
Yes.
You're Jerry Lewis.
Jerry
You
Lewis.
tell the jokes, and this kid is Dean Martin, and he sings for you. And I'm just like, yes.
And I love how he tries to like pitch it to the audience of parents, and they're just like crickets.
Yep. Because he's like, I don't give a fuck. And also, that was during your Who's Your Daddy speech, which I hate that it made me melt entirely into a puddle of horniness, but...
I'll be your daddy.
So
but is that why people started saying "Who's your daddy" all the time?
Probably.
It's got to be, right?
Probably.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, probably.
I didn't get it. I just thought it was like a weird phrase people said out of nowhere.
Yeah, who's your daddy? I bet that's why. Because I had never heard it before then, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
Well, there you go.
Oh, and then I was joking around. Why did I say that?
I was joking around.
I was joking around and wrote a funny note. What the fuck?
You know what?
A really
I can
weird
attest,
way of introducing that.
she was
note.
joking
I
around,
think
okay?
the spiced rum is really kicking in.
Hell yeah.
I said, is the military son bit off of Little Giants? Because at one point during the camp, this military guy walks up and he's like, you gotta meet my son. He's the best quarterback in the league or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, Little Giants. They ripped off the plot.
So true. And that was California Boy, right? Sunshine.
Yes. Who?
He is
loved
hot.
his long hair. I was so sad when they got it.
Looks like a handsome bro.
Yes.
Very hot.
They call him Sunshine, which is so cute.
It is very cute.
And it's during that locker room scene that the black kids introduce the white kids to Yo Mama jokes.
Yes!
And they
Oh, I
all
love
just
that
have a
scene.
great time.
It's so good. They're like, wait, my mom?
Oh, and we should back up because the bully from Boy Meets World,
True, yeah.
his character's really cool because back when everyone's being like hella racist and not cool at all, he just like comes up to the black kids and just like stands there hella chill. And he says like he just moved from somewhere. And I bet that it's implying that like wherever he moved from was like not racist. So he's like cool.
Yeah, and I
So
think
I don't think he like really gets why everyone's being so weird.
Yeah, that's part of it, and also it's because they're like, why don't you go back with your people? And he's like, I don't have people because I don't know them, so I'm just sitting with like I don't know what you mean. So I think you're right because he's just like, what are you talking about? And same with
this, you're being weird.
and same with Sunshine because he's from California,
Right, and he's just like, it's chill.
and he's like, we could go into this place because they'll be chill. Like it's 71, and they're like,
They're like, it's gonna
you
be
don't
bad.
fucking get it. Also, I have to say, Blue is so me, dude. He's just singing away at all fucking times.
Blue
Love
and
him.
Rev are always having a nice jam sesh.
He's so cute. I love him. Also, gotta mention a young Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
He's such a cute little baby.
I saw a meme, and because I had forgotten that he was in this movie, but with the Barbie movie coming up, people were sharing memes that said, never forget that Ryan Gosling was an absolute liability as a cornerback and remember the Titans. Because his character is like, he kind of sucks.
Yeah, he fucking sucks.
He always is being swapped out because he sucks.
I was watching this with my dad, and my dad's like, how come they made the Canadian guy suck so bad? I'm like,
Aw.
well...
He's not Canadian in the movie, though, right?
No, but he is Canadian, so he's like, why do they make the Canadian? I'm like, because Canadians aren't, like, well-known for being great football players.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway.
But there's this really powerful scene where they're coming back from the camp and everything's all fucked and like there's all these people protesting and a lot of the signs are moms against busing.
See, I didn't get that, so I'm glad that you're bringing that up.
Well, I think it's just such an insidious part of our history where moms are used as like a reason to justify hate and bigotry. And they're like, I'm a mom and I don't want my kids around that. Blah, blah, blah. And it reminded me of this group now called Moms for Liberty. Have you heard of these people?
Thank God I haven't, but...
Well, you might, because they just started their chapter in Las Vegas following the election of Sheriff Joe Lombardo.
Jesus Christ.
So I think they thought with that they'd get a little foothold. But
Already
they
don't
are
like it.
really big in the movement against curriculum that talks about any gay people, any race or ethnicity mentioned whatsoever. They're obsessed with critical race theory. They don't want discrimination to be taught as like a historical fact in this country. And they show up to school board meetings, and they're crazy, and they're incredibly influential in the Republican Party.
Okay, I've heard about these types of people in, like, Florida, and that's the reason why Florida is very, like...
Oh, they are, like, reason number one why Florida has gotten the way it has.
Jesus Christ.
And now they're here.
That's, like...
Now they're here.
That's
So
truly
watch out.
horrifying. Truly
Yes.
horrifying.
But
actually.
but they crouch behind this thing and be like, we're moms. And because we're moms, we have, like, a special... I don't know, I think it's, like, kind of, like, we're...
Like, we care
invested more.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's our children, and we're just being moms. And I think sometimes the shield of being a mom
Totally.
is used to justify some real heinous shit.
Yeah, it's like, moms can be cunts, too, fun
Yeah,
fact.
exactly.
And
And
all
you
y'all
might have
are.
horrible interests out for your kids
Yeah.
that you think are noble, but are actually, like, fucking trash.
Yeah, what about black kids that are sitting there like, this is part of our history that should be taught. Like, what do you fucking, like, who are you protecting right now? Literally, who are you fucking protecting?
Right.
What? That's disgusting. But do they mean, like, busing, like, integrated busing? Is that what they were saying? Or
Yeah,
like,
so because, like, neighborhoods were still heavily segregated,
Yeah.
when the Fed started telling school districts to integrate, the only way they could practically achieve that was to take buses of kids from black neighborhoods and bus them to the white schools so that they could go there.
oh my God.
It was a big deal when we went to Palo, dude.
Huh?
It was a big deal when we went to Palo.
Yes, you're right.
They're like, oh, those kids are busted.
Yeah.
Like, people were really fucking shitty about it. Now I don't think they have to do that because Summerlin's grown so much. But, yeah.
I feel like, yeah, like, it's like a lot of, actually, I'm going to forget the term now, so I'm going to feel like an idiot. But when basically, like, they go to, or they make certain neighborhoods, like, available to lower income families. What is that called?
Oh, what is it?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like District something or like...
Oh, my God. Section
8?
Section 8?
I think
Section 8.
Section
That's
8.
what it's called, yeah.
Okay, so when I had a house with my ex, we lived in a neighborhood that was Section 8. And people hated on that.
Well, you know what's cool about Las Vegas, actually, is they don't designate neighborhoods technically as Section 8. I think it's like a certain number within each zip code has to be designated by Section 8. And I think it's kind of supposed to be random. But people are haters if there's like one Section 8 house designated house in their neighborhood.
I think there was one. I think there was one because people were saying like, and that house, like the front is always unkempt and like da-da-da-da-da. And I literally...
And I've seen that neighborhood and it's like rocks.
Yeah.
Like unkempt rocks.
Yeah. And I go, in what way? And I just sat there and stared at him, and he was just like, you know, like, it just looks messy. And I'm like, also, why the fuck do you fucking care if that is the, like, why the fuck do you fucking care? Makes no, like, it's clear what's happening right now. You're being so fucking weird.
Yes.
So, it's like the same sort of shit. So fucking wild.
Yeah, and I think that's what's cool about movies like this, is they do show you, like, how much has changed, but also how much is very much the same.
It is scary, because I'm like, this is literally 1971. That's another thing, too, is I think a lot of people look at, like, segregation and stuff, and they think it's so long ago. It's fucking not.
It's really, like, your parents?
Yeah.
Probably were around.
Yeah, like, isn't... Ruby Bridges still alive and well?
Like, my parents were born in the 50s, dog.
Yeah.
Like, they were fully conscious. And segregation was still the law.
Yeah.
Like,
and
what?
Our parents were alive when segregation still existed. Think about that. That was normal.
Yeah.
Insanity.
And people were pissed when it ended.
Yeah. It wasn't normal. Like, to them, there was like that like blew everyone's minds. That's why people were like picketing against it and shit. Like, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that all these people you see historically doing terrible shit, they thought they were right. And they had a lot of people around them that were telling them they were right. And it wasn't hard to find a group of people to go out and wave signs and agree with them.
Yeah.
And it's only now that we're like, they're crazy. How did they not realize segregation is bad? But it's like, at that time, they felt fully justified, just like these fucking moms for liberty. Like, they think they're right. And they got a lot of people and a lot of money who are down to share that message.
And clearly they're not afraid. Like, they're proud of it. They're proud of the work that they do.
Because they think they're doing the right thing.
It's...
And that's why I get a little annoyed.
Yeah.
When people are very Pollyanna and say things like, and this is a great quote from MLK Jr., it is, but I feel like it's used to justify being lazy, and it's that quote that says, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it always bends towards justice. And like the Malcolm X's are like, you gotta bend it.
Yeah.
It's not just gonna
It doesn't
happen.
just bend.
It doesn't just bend.
Yeah.
You gotta do something.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
you let things go to their own devices, it'll probably get worse, honestly. You have to like actively combat these people at every turn.
Yes.
Because, yeah, left to their own devices, they will run over everybody.
1 million. Or like the people that always quote the MLK quote that's like, hate doesn't do that, love does. And it's like, that's all well and good, but that's, first of all, not even the entire quote, right?
Yeah.
And second of all, you can't just love things into existing.
MLK Jr. wasn't just loving things into existence. He was organized as fuck. He was pissing people off. He was marching all over. He was boycotting. Like, he wasn't just sitting there being like, I'm sure things will get better.
Yeah, like, I love everybody, and everyone's equal, and, like, I don't see color. It's like, no, he was out here in the literal streets, and he got murdered by the FBI because he was so organized and so fucking with it.
Right.
So, and he pissed that many people off because he was right, and he was doing so much work that looked so wild to so many people because it wasn't normalized at that time.
It wasn't normal, and people thought he was enemy number one. Like, if you go back to newspapers, people weren't like, isn't he great?
Yeah.
They were like, fuck this crazy guy. He's out of control. He must be stopped at all costs.
But now
he's violent. He's a...
Yeah, but then all these super conservative people are taking his quotes and switching them around to make them look cooler and to make it look like he was on their side ultimately. And it's like, you're out of your fucking gourd, baby. Let me just say that right now.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. So yeah, you can't just rest on your little laurels, people. And just think everything's going to be okay. So I get a little annoyed with, okay, listen, I love my crystal girls. I love my yoga girls.
Yep.
But the type of yoga bitch who's like, if I do yoga and drink my greens and just, I'm a good person, then that will make the world better automatically. And I'm like, but how?
Yeah.
But
Explain
how?
that. Explain
I don't
that to
see,
us.
like, how is that going to stop Moms for Liberty?
It won't.
It's not.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it won't.
So, I don't know.
No, you're
it's
right.
like, just admit that you're not doing anything. I think that's my thing. Just admit it.
Yeah.
Don't pretend like you doing nothing is actually you, like, changing the world. Just own it.
Yeah, just be like, I don't have the energy for this.
Exactly. I'm concentrating on myself right now. That's cool.
But
don't act like you're, like, changing the world.
Yeah. I've seen, mentioning the crystal people, I hate to say this too. Cause
I do love, let's just say, I do love my crystal girls.
I do too.
And I think a lot of them are honest about, like, I do this because it makes me feel better. Or, like, I do this because it helps manage my anxiety. Or, like, I do this because blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's cool. But it's the ones who think that they are then changing the world?
Yeah, like, I'm going to say this. In this political climate that we're going through right now, I'm not going to go into, like, super details because we all know what's going on. But in the height of all this, in the last couple weeks, I've seen so many of my granola friends who are literally in, like, drum circles, who are not native. And they're like, let me sing a song. And then they're putting it, like, on their lives, like, on Instagram. And I'm like, what? And it's, like, not even about that specific. Like, they're not saying anything about what's going on. They're just being like, and peace will be bringing us to. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you fucking doing? Like, what do you think that you're doing right now? And
yeah,
like,
I don't know.
But again, I think those are the people that think that they're really, like, doing it up and doing the most.
I guess if you're, like, super spiritual and you believe in a God figure or something, I could see how you think that you can, like, win them over, which I think is, like, a terrible way of looking at it, but, like, you can, like, get their attention to do good things.
Yeah, exactly. They're like,
I guess.
Hi God, louder than everyone else by playing
like, if
drums.
I play my drums real good, will you do what I want?
I'm, like,
and
rubbing on my
world
nipples.
Peace.
Drop, stop, kaboom, baby, rub on your nipples. What are you doing? No, and I hated laughing at it because I was literally, and I'm not that type. I try so hard to not be judgmental because I could tell that they were really like, I just don't know what to do. So this is all I know how to do. But it's like, listen to the people that know what you should be doing.
And it's like, recognize that what you're doing is self-management.
Absolutely.
You are managing your own emotions, and that's great.
Totally.
But recognize that that is what you are doing.
Right. And don't be like, this is for them.
Exactly.
This is for the people suffering. P.S. Guess what? By the way, they're not seeing you.
They're still dead.
And they're not, like, this isn't helping literally anyone. Like, this isn't bringing anyone peace. Except for yourself, maybe?
Yeah, which is
which is fine.
But just admit it.
But don't act like you are saving the fucking universe and putting this, like, I don't even know. Like, I know exactly what you're saying because I'm sitting here watching this, like, what the fuck is, what do you think this is doing? I'm sorry. But they're acting like they're, like, a direct line to the universe. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which is also, like, a really wow if you think that, like, you can control the universe in such a way.
By playing drums on your and being like, peace will bring
I wish
us.
I had that self-conception of my ego and abilities. That I could be like, all I gotta do is sing and the world's gonna be better.
I know!
That would be pretty cool.
That would be fucking
but
sick.
Guess what? Roe v. Wade got overturned, alright?
Yeah, okay.
Post-Crystal Girl movement. So something's not working.
It's not working, babe. Guess what? Your drums, that's not working. And again, if you're doing that for your own mental health, for your own, like, peace of mind, and at a really hard time for a lot of us, like, I get it. But don't sit here and put it on the internet and think, I've done my part now. No, the fuck you haven't.
Yeah, we're just asking. Please just be self-aware.
Yeah.
Which is, I thought, a virtue that you're trying to pursue. But
absolutely. And I do need to say this. this is coming from someone who used to post statuses like legitimately, not kidding, and unironically being like, can't we just all get along? And it's like...
That was the punchline of Shea's inaugural stand-up.
Yes.
Have we talked about this on here?
I don't think so.
I don't think we have. Okay. Do you want me to tell her?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So Shea, as you all know, was always into SNL, always into comedy. We all think she's hilarious. So, of course, we're like, you should write a stand-up. And she's like, I'm going to write a stand-up. So one day she told us that her stand-up was ready. And she was going to perform it for us. And so we're like, I think we're sitting on the floor of your room or something.
Yes, you were. And I was standing, like, reading a paper.
Is this thing on? No. And then she starts off, she goes, you know, school's so funny. You've got your jocks, you've got your nerds, you got your band geeks. You know, there's so many different people. But can't we all just get along?
And it was quite literally like cricket,
and it's like
cricket.
And we're like waiting for the next line, and we're like, wait, is that it?
And guess what? We're still laughing at it. So
yeah,
who's the jokester
now?
It was
genius.
It was genius, you guys. Ha ha.
Fucking genius.
No, I still don't. But, and that is so true. Like, I really thought that was the funniest thing ever. But then years later, I literally wrote that as a status during, like, after Trump got elected.
Yeah.
It was like the day Trump got elected. And I was like, what really hurts me is that everyone's just being really hateful towards each other. And then I got fucking reamed for it, as I should. And it was literally after that I became radicalized. I'm not kidding.
You're like, wait a second.
And this is why also I say sometimes people deserve to be embarrassed. Okay?
It's how we grow.
And I truly was so embarrassed by that. And I was like, I don't get it. Why is everyone hating on me? And I remember having a conversation with Stacy, with one of my besties, Eris. Like, I had a conversation with a lot of people who could tell me why that was dumb in the gentlest way, but be like, yeah, that probably wasn't the greatest thing to say to a lot of people who are queer and people of color and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
So I was embarrassed, and then I learned, wow, I'm speaking from a place of privilege and ignorance, and maybe I need to just, like, shut the fuck up and listen to people's anger because it's coming from a place of hurt because they're scared about what's going on right now. And I did, and I learned, and I came back, and I'm better now.
Oh, God, I love it.
So sometimes people deserve to be embarrassed, and maybe they'll become better for it. And that's all I'm saying. So I'm speaking from a place of understanding, and I've been there. Mm-hmm. I'm not just sitting here on a high horse being like, I've always had, like, great political
my views have always been 100% correct.
Because I haven't. I've been wrong as fuck, and I've done really dumb shit.
I thought that if we just made prisons more intense, people would act better.
Yeah.
Not at all true.
Yeah.
Not at all true.
Maya Angelou once said, once we know better, we do better. Okay?
That's right.
So all I'm saying is, I've been that guy, but I'm not anymore. And you can be like that too. Okay? So that's all I'm saying.
And that concludes our infomercial.
I know.
Wow, remember the Titans really bringing it out.
Truly. This whole month.
It's a good movie.
This whole month has been really political, actually.
Actually
weirdly, it has. Like, truly.
Who would have thought? We literally did election month last year, and I think this is more political than election month.
I agree with that. I think it is. And, like, what a good movie to end this month on, let me just say. Okay.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Okay, my next note, speaking of feminism, this does pass the Bechdel test.
It sure does. Barely, but it
does.
Barely. Yeah.
And it's when, what's her fucking name? I already forgot.
Hayden
Panettiere's character and Denzel Washington's daughter, they have a little conversation, and they're both named, and it wasn't about boys. So, bam, Bechdel.
Boom. It was very short, very short-lived.
They had like a few very short conversations.
Yeah, that's true. They have one where she's like, I just did my nails. Mm-hmm. And then the other one where she's like, I don't want to watch. And she's like, I don't care about this. Like, there's multiple little moments. But still, it does pass the Bechdel test.
Which I was shocked.
Me too. It doesn't have to be adult women. It could be girls. Right?
Yeah, it could be any named femme characters.
Sick. Okay. Cool. Also, I gotta say it. The music in this fucking movie.
It's really good. Oh, I didn't look up the composer. I wonder who does it.
Oh, good idea.
Let's see. Who does the music?
Yeah, because, holy shit. Like, every song that was chosen, every song that played, every song that they sang, like, so good.
Okay, Trevor Rabin, which doesn't sound familiar to me, but I'm going to look up his soundtracks.
Okay, cool.
A lot of random movies. Ton. You know, Armageddon, Bad Boys 2, Con Air, Deep Blue Sea, Get Smart.
Wow. Oh, Get Smart, okay.
Hot Rod, which I love.
That's one of Stacy's faves.
Jack Frost. Oh, yikes.
Dude, but that was the first time I ever heard Landslide by Fleetwood Mac, though.
In Jack Frost?
Yes.
We need to do Jack Frost because that movie is insane.
It is insane.
It's
we
one
gotta
of the
do
craziest movies ever made.
Yeah, we gotta do it.
Remember the Titans, of course. Snakes on a Plane.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so lots of random, not really any pattern.
No. But it seems like in a lot of those movies, the ones that I've seen anyway, they do have really solid bangers in there. So clearly he knows his music, baby.
Snakes on a Plane? Hell yeah. Cobra Starship.
Oh, yeah.
I did love the moment, speaking of like this political shit, people learning. So when his daughter, Hayden Panettiere, is over at Denzel Washington's house, somebody throws a brick through the window. And it's like in the room where the kids are. So everyone's like super freaked out.
Yeah.
And the white coach gets all mad. And this is another thing that happens a lot. People get mad at things they can't control, so then they try to find things to blame so that they can be like, it's your fault. So he lashes out at Denzel Washington, and he's like, maybe if you weren't so sinfully proud or you weren't bragging about our wins, maybe that wouldn't have happened. And Denzel Washington's like, are you nuts?
Yeah.
You think that's why it happened?
Yeah.
Like, no.
And also,
that would have happened no matter what I said.
Yeah, and he's like, if you're scared about your daughter, think about how my daughter feels.
Yeah, like every goddamn day.
Yeah. So, suck it.
And then you see the coach be like, oh, that's a good point.
He's like, holy shit, whoopsie.
I did right. Also, the fake sweat team was working overtime on this film.
The what?
The fake sweat team.
Yes.
I was cracking up. Sometimes it looked really good. Sometimes it looked really trash.
Yeah, like sometimes it looked like solid pieces
yeah,
of
like, I wanted to get a towel and just like...
Yeah, it didn't even look like water. It literally looked like...
You got stuff all over your face.
Yeah, it looked almost like makeup, like clear makeup gel that they just
and I was like, ew.
dropped on. So gross. Also, like, I know we're taking it back now, but the Gettysburg analogy was great, and I think that's really like the turning point.
Yes, that was really good.
Because basically, if you guys haven't seen it, Denzel goes on a giant run for probably 3 hours, I want to say, because when they started, it was like 3 a.m., and then the sun was coming up. So ipso facto, it had to have been like hours. This is when they were at camp. And so he brought them to literally the place where Gettysburg happened. And he had this whole analogy about, like, listen to the dead, listen to what they say, like, feel the energy because they went through the same battle we're going through right now and blah, 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 blah. And, like, that's really what turned things around. And I forgot to read that note. But, yes, quite important.
Excellent point.
Oh, wait, go ahead.
Okay. Love this movie, love the idea, but it also is just such a sad reality that it's like minorities always have to like achieve things to be proven worthy or whatever. It's like in this movie, what if he wasn't good at football?
Right.
Then everyone gets to be racist still? Like,
yeah.
It's fucking shitty that it's like he has to show he's good at football because that's the only way anyone will accept him. And it's just such a burden that like white people, we don't have to deal with that. Like, I never feel like I'm representing all white bitches.
Yeah.
Like all white people. I never feel that way.
Yeah, or we like don't have to constantly be proving our worth all the fucking time to society in general.
Right, and like achieving to show that we deserve stuff. Blech.
Yeah, like deserve literal respect from people. Like that's so crazy.
Yeah, again, if he lost, what? Like, okay, no integration. Everyone hates each other. It's like, what?
Yeah, because if he lost, he would have been kicked out, and then he would have had to move, and they also would have been racist assholes.
Which
like,
is just
truly
wild. That it's like, okay, yeah, now this football series has become a proxy for acceptance for no good reason.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so fucked. It really, really is.
Okay, that didn't take as long as I thought. Go on.
No, but it's true. I'm just like, yes, you're absolutely right. Also, I love... So, like, Denzel gives a speech to Sunshine about, like, I know you don't feel like it, because he's putting him in the game, basically. And he's like, I know you don't feel like you're ready, but I had 12 brothers and sisters, and then both my parents died within the same month, and so I had to take care of them, even though I was the youngest, and I didn't think I could do it, but I did, and you can do it too, whatever. So he, like, runs off, and he's like, yeah, and he feels empowered, and then the other coach goes up to him, and he goes, 12 brothers and sisters, huh? And he goes, 8. And then the other coach goes, yeah, 12 sounds better. And that made me
But also,
die.
that's still so many.
8.
That's still so many.
So many. But he's like, yeah, 12 sounds
12
better.
is better.
So good. Also, throwing the racist coach a fucking banana because he called him a monkey.
Oh, yeah. So good. So good. And I like how he knew. He's like, he's not going to shake my hand, but if I throw this at him,
like,
he'll
hey,
catch
coach.
it.
Oh, I was
and
like,
just to be like, yeah, you lost to a monkey. Interesting.
Yeah, go
wow.
fuck yourself. It was so good. Also, I hate the idea that, like, yeah, I'm all about, like, making mistakes and then growing from your mistake, blah, blah, blah. But I hate that, like, Gary's girlfriend is really fucking racist, obviously.
She's horrible.
And then she's like, I'm gonna work on it. And then everyone's like, aw. Like, we're expected to be like, oh my God, she's such a good character.
Right.
Like, go fuck yourself, bro.
Well, in that whole 5 minutes. So I only saw this movie once, but I think some dark recesses in my brain remembered that somebody gets like fucked up in some way.
Yeah.
And so they start showing this guy's life, like everything's starting to go right. Yeah. Everyone's friends. His girls come back. And I was like, I turned to Brent and I was like, oh my God, does he die?
Yeah. I mean, almost.
And Brent's like, he doesn't die. And I was like, but something bad happens to him, right? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I knew it. They're setting this kid up. This kid gonna die.
You can tell in the car because he's like driving his car and he's like never looking ahead and he's just like it like, looked very JFK-esque. I was like, uh-oh, something bad's gonna happen for sure, and then it does. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. So he becomes paralyzed.
I do like that. Like this is a setback to the team, but I feel like other sports movies, it then becomes all about the injured person.
Yes.
And they're like, we have to do it for this injured person.
Yeah.
And I like that this movie doesn't go there. It's like his whole plot device being injured is simply that now it's going to be harder for them to win. Mm-hmm. And it's also sad, but it's not like they're all like, for him, for Gary. Like, it's not all about fucking Gary.
Totally, because they've been working at this shit before Gary got fucking injured, so...
Right. So I like that it wasn't just, like, derailed into all about Garyville.
Yeah, and Gary's, like, their king forever.
Exactly.
Like, they did all cheer his name and stuff, but that makes sense, because, you know.
But Denzel even says, he's like, yeah, Gary's sad, but we still gotta do this, all right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm glad that they turned it around and also gave other people opportunities to play.
Oh, and I forgot that Left Side, Strong Side is from this movie.
Yeah, I had never heard that before.
I was always like, I guess I just took it for granted that people said that, but I didn't know why.
So do people say that, like, in football a lot? Or, like...
I just feel like I've heard people chant it, and I never knew why.
Oh, okay.
And probably because it didn't make sense to me, I don't remember, like, why they were saying it. But, yeah, I know I just heard that chanted. Like,
and you're like, what the fuck is this from?
Left side, strong side. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I thought that was cute when he was like, left side, strong side. He's like, we're going to grow up in the same... Or we're going to live in the same neighborhood.
Oh,
and we're going to raise our kids. I was like,
cute, teary-eyed. Uh-huh.
I know I've talked about this before, but that's how I feel about Stacy and my other best friends. And...
I don't think you shared your death plan.
Oh, okay, let me share my death plan with you guys.
And how it came about.
So, we were on vacation. It was the four of us on vacation. And again, we've all been best friends collectively since we were in middle school, okay? So, somehow, with all the trials and tribulations and moves and everything we've all been there, we're still best friends. And truly, they're my fucking soulmates, if you couldn't already tell. But anyways, we're all in Florida on vacation. I'm pretty sure that's where we were at when we were talking about this. And Stacy said something that horrified me that I never thought.
It was just you and me.
I thought it was all of us.
Even years before that.
Oh, maybe we were like retelling the story in Florida for some reason. I think about it. But anyway, we were talking about it, and Stacy said something that horrified me that I never thought about, where she was like, you know, one of us has to die first. And I was just like, what? And then she's like, yeah, like, have you ever thought about, like, and
I brought it up for a reason. I didn't just be like, hey, Shay, guess what?
I'm sure she brought it up for a reason, but I don't remember what that reason was, and
I think I just was like, well, I mean, I think you said something like, we're all going to be like 95, and I was like, well, I hope we all make it that far, and you're like, what? And I was like, well, one of us has to die first.
And then I go, wait, and then she's like, wait, you really never thought about this? And I was like, no! And I was like, I pictured us being the grandparents from fucking Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory style, and we're all just like four abreast in this bed together, and then we all just simply take one last breath collectively, and it just, good night. And she's like, okay, well, I hope that happens, buddy. And I'm just like, oh my, and it still horrifies me to think, like, I hate thinking about that. It really hurts me.
Well, that's why it's not going to happen. And it's going to be Willy Wonka pet system.
But I know. Once I told Stacy the death plan, she signed up. So
yeah, just I'm a sign on the dotted line. It's a contract now.
I'm like, if I don't die first, none of you are allowed to die. Okay?
I call first.
Okay? I call first, and then if for some reason I last as long, then we all just have to agree none of us will go first, and we'll all just go at the same time, okay?
Easy peasy. Don't be
it's
selfish.
That easy. Don't be selfish, Stacy. But yeah, so when he kind of gave that speech to Gary, I was like, that's so sweet.
It was sweet.
Makes me cry.
Mm-hmm. And that's basically all the notes I have, actually.
Let me see.
I will say that it circles back to the funeral at the end, and you realize that the funeral is for the hospitalized guy who turned out to be paralyzed, but did a lot of good work in the Special Olympics. And you discover that's Hayden Panettiere narrating.
Yeah. And then I wrote also, yay, Joey. I called him Joey, but I meant Frankie. Frankie's going to college. I think his name in the movie is Louis.
Yeah.
He does go to college because Denzel Washington's character is like, hey, after every test or whatever, bring it back to me and we'll go over it, which is
so cute.
So sweet. But yeah, anyway, the end of the movie was really good. It tied everything together, although the fact that he died because of another car accident is...
I know. I was like, what?
Drunk driver. See? You guys?
Don't do it.
Don't fucking do it,
Call
dog.
an Uber. Call a Lyft. It's not worth it.
I have lifelong pain because of a drunk driver, okay? And this guy fucking died. People die all the time because of drunk drivers. Just don't fucking do it. It's so easy to not do.
Or somebody get on self-driving cars so people can be as drunk as they'd like.
Hello.
And just be zoomed around.
Thank you.
That'd be great.
Thanks. Just get to it. Maybe like next week, go bring a business plan over to us. All right, cool. Thanks. But yeah, love the fucking movie so much, and I have trivia for my wife.
I'm excited. Lay it on me.
Okay, here we go. What was the mascot for T.C. Williams High School?
Oh my god.
You know it.
Oh, the Titan.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, I was like picturing, I was like, was it a band thing? Like,
What
no, you
was it?
fucking idiot. It's too easy. I overthought it.
Which teammates became best friends by the end of the film?
Tall motherfucker who gets injured and
Tyler Crater's
dad. I'm so bad with character names.
I think his name is Julius.
Julius,
Yeah.
that's right.
After the team returns from training camp, who does Gary's girlfriend refuse to shake hands with?
Isn't it Julius?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who kicked Ray, Gary's best friend, off the team?
Oh, Gary.
Yep. Nice. What song did the Titans bond over in the locker room?
Oh, ain't no mountain high enough.
Good.
Hell yeah.
And then lastly, while at training camp, where did Coach Boone make the team run to at the crack of dawn?
Gettysburg Cemetery.
Incredible.
And that's where the famous Gettysburg Address at House Divided cannot stand.
Mm-hmm. So perfect.
Dope.
I love that he brought them there. I mean, it took a fucking 3 or 4 hour run, but hey. Yikes. All right.
Okay, are you ready for a personality quiz?
Ooh.
This one is on user-made on Quote TV.
God, yes.
Okay. What would people consider you as? A hard worker, a fighter, different, misunderstood, a comedian, or a preacher?
Probably a comedian. I feel like most people think
Comedian. Who do you look up to? The people who help you the most, yourself and friends, just friends, anyone but your family, friends, family, and yourself, anyone worth looking up to.
friends, family, and myself.
What would you consider yourself as? Hardworking and a leader, a person who stands up for their friends, a peacemaker, outspoken, funny, a person who tries their best to help other people.
Ooh, this is hard.
Mm-hmm.
I think above anything, I really try to stick up for my friends, super hardcore.
Love that. What do you do in your spare time? Sports or anything else that lets me be the leader? Anything my friend is doing? Anything to show people how good I am at something? Being with friends? Being with family and friends? Or helping people?
Being with family and friends.
Whoop.
Woo.
Okay. What is your weakness? I can't help causing fights sometimes. My attitude. I care way too much about what other people think of me. I'm not always able to keep up with some people. I do not have enough self-confidence, or I always get hurt.
Ooh.
Oh no, I went back. Hold on. Think about that, and I'm going to reselect your answers.
It was the third to last that I related to the most, but now I can't remember which one it is.
I'm not always able to keep up with some people?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Okay. When people forget to say congratulations... Oh, sorry, that was the answer. You don't like it when people forget to say congratulations to you, try to fight with you, hold a grudge against you, when people judge other people, when people exaggerate things, or you don't like it when you try to stay positive. There are some grammar issues with this question.
Wait, what was the one about, judging people? Is that what it is?
You don't like it when people judge other people.
Yeah, I don't like when people judge other people.
Excellent. You are Alan Bosley. You are fucking... What's his name? Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling? What the fuck? Why?
Ryan Gosling. You are very funny and are always making jokes. You are smart and sometimes misunderstood.
Is he funny in the movie?
I guess.
I don't remember one single moment where he was funny.
Sings a silly song.
God damn it. I wanted to be blue. Okay.
Aww.
What would people consider you as? A hard worker, a fighter, different, misunderstood, a comedian, or a preacher?
Probably a hard worker.
Yeah. Who do you look up to? The people who help you the most? Yourself and friends? Friends? Anyone but your family? Friends, family, and yourself? Or anyone worth looking up to?
I think anyone worth looking up to. It's kind
Good
of a
call.
hack answer.
I mean, she's concise, ladies and germs. What would you consider yourself as? Hardworking and a leader? A person who stands up for their friends? A peacemaker? Outspoken? Or funny? Or a person who tries their best to help other people?
Probably that one.
And she does. She helps a lot of people all the time, myself included. What do you do in your spare time? Sports or anything else that lets me be the leader?
LOL.
Anything my friend is doing? Anything to show people how good I am at something? Being with friends, being with family and friends, or helping people?
I guess helping people.
Hell yeah.
I'm in a lot of extracurricular organizations.
She really does. She really does. What is your weakness? I can't help causing fights sometimes. My attitude. I care way too much about what other people think of me. I'm not always able to keep up with some people. I do not have enough self-confidence, or I always get hurt.
I can't help but start fights sometimes. I'm a little contrarian Gemini, and I will say something.
She sure will. That was also my second answer. I was like, I cause hella fights all the time. You don't like it when people forget to say congratulations to you, try to fight with you, hold a grudge against you, judge other people, like when other people judge other people, when people over-exaggerate things, or when you try to stay positive, what? Question mark.
Yeah, I don't get that one. I also feel what you said, but I want to give the same answer. What was the one before that, the judge other people one?
Before judge other people, it's when people hold a grudge against you.
Yeah, I think that's lame.
Yeah, holding grudges, I used to be one of those people too. I'm not anymore.
Like our whole thing about people change.
Yeah,
Like we talked about last episode.
You're Jerry the Rev Harris.
What?
You are very committed to what you believe in, and you like helping other people. You get hurt easily.
Wow. Rev himself?
She does preach, but
I
not in a bad
you
way.
get hurt easily, like physically. Like his character physically gets hurt.
Yeah, he does
Like, you
physically
get
get hurt all the time. His wrist gets hurt. What else? I feel like he hurt himself multiple times in the movie.
Like he did too.
But
Oh my god, wow.
I'm surprised by both of our answers.
Yeah.
But hey,
Gosling and Rev. Let's
love them
do
both.
this.
So with it. But man, I've had a really good time during football month, actually.
Feels good.
More fun than I thought I would
You're
have.
going to look at football more fondly now, aren't you?
I am. And you know what? It made me kind of want to play. I was like,
Ooh,
it'd be
that
kind of
gets
fun to
like
play
a little
football.
flag football action?
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. I think the next sport I do want to do, because last year, you guys, you might remember I was on a softball team. I think I do want to play basketball again.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm not great, but like I think it's fun. But I would like to play like flag football at some point. I think that would be
Flag
really
football
fun.
would be really fun. You know what I'm so like fucking prissy about with basketball?
What do you mean?
I don't like how dirty your hands get.
That's true.
You're constantly bouncing that dirty ass. Me too. I hate the graininess.
I hate that
so I think
feeling.
football would be like a little better because it's not like constantly bouncing against a dirty ass ground. Like usually you're on turf, you're on grass, you're on something.
That is true. I think that is something, and I do have problems with like my hands feeling too dirty or feeling too dry. Like that's a big.
Yeah, it's like sensory for me. Like
it is a sensory
like
issue.
Dust and I don't like it.
It's also I actually am super weird about my hands too because I also don't like washing dishes in a filled up sink because I hate the feeling. And it makes my mom like because I've been like that since I was a kid. I hate like the touch of like food particles.
Yeah, I hate it too. Drain that shit.
Yeah.
Garbage disposal.
Yeah.
I'll put my hands in there.
That's why I leave the sink running as I do dishes because I just have to. Otherwise, I will not fucking do it. Stacy introduced me to dishwashers, which I didn't use before.
Big fan. Big
like
fan.
this year.
You may remember my story about Vitaly the thief.
Yeah.
The dishwasher's working great.
Yes. But anyways, wait, why were we talking about that? Oh, yeah. So anyway, I want to play a couple more sports this upcoming year. I think it'd be fun. And I like...
Get a New Year's resolution.
Yeah, I think it'll be one of them. I got a lot of my resolutions done this year, actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so we'll talk about it later, but hope you guys enjoyed this month, and we just love ya so much. We hope that you had a good holiday. And we haven't decided what the theme is for this upcoming month, but I assume it's just more Christmas movies.
It's going to be holidays.
So buckle up for more holiday movies. We love you so much, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you to our amazing editor, Anthony, Grady for our amazing theme song, and Whitney for our beautiful cover art.
If you have questions for us or would like to advertise with us, please email us at blockbusterwives@gmail.com.
And as always, please rate, subscribe, and tell all your friends about us. We love you.
Wrong side! Left side!